Everyone, this is Nate with themedattraction.com. I wanted to welcome you to this year's Themed Attraction Student Showcase. We're really excited to have you, and I'm going to go through how to upload your documents to the showcase today. So I have created a dummy account, which is basically exactly like the one that you're going to create. If you have not created one already, basically, if you go to the homepage of themedattraction.com, this menu has changed just a little bit, but you can either click here, register on this link, or you can go how to use this site, and then there's a registration link, but it'll take you right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through this prompt, create a username, go through the verification process, and then you will have an account. At that point, you're going to log in, and there's actually a back end to or a front end to use for themedattraction.com. And we're not going to use that. We're actually going to go straight to the WordPress backend. So if you know how to use WordPress, then this is basically a very typical WordPress installation. So what you do, it's the universal login for any WordPress is themedattraction.com in this case, forward slash WP dash admin. So you're going to type that in, hit enter. And at that point, it will take you to this login page. You could also, as you see, go from the home page, but you're going to log in here. This is my dummy account that has the same privileges that you will have. And when you log in, you're going to see what this right here. Now, all of this information right here, you don't, this is just WordPress garbage. You don't really need to worry about that at all. All the stuff you need to worry about is over here on the left-hand side. There's posts primarily, and then media where you add all your drawings, images, things like that. Don't need to worry about, really, it's just those two. That's kind of what you're going to work on right there, those two things. And if you click on all posts, you can see any post that you created in there previously. So for example, if you needed to go in there and edit anything that you did previously, you could always go back. Now, this takes a couple minutes just because it's a fairly big site, so we will be patient. And of course, it always takes longer when you wait for it. Here we go. Okay, so these are all the articles that I created under this username. You can see there's actually quite a few. But when you are going to add your stuff, essentially, you're going to click Add New, or you can click Add New here for the very first time. Okay, so you click Add New, and this is pretty straightforward. Hit Add New, and you got to wait. If this is a Chrome browser, so you can see that this will think for a minute, and you just let it think so that it goes through its whole process. I promise it's not always this slow. There we go. All right. So WordPress, even if you haven't used it, is very pretty straightforward. And I will just say this: if you get stuck, your goal or your task here is not to be a webmaster. So don't try, just email me, Nate at themedattraction.com. I'll give you my number. We'll Zoom, we'll go through it. We'll make sure that you understand completely how to upload your documents. So if you need to help me to help you format it, that's absolutely fine. That's not the deliverable. The deliverable is obviously the design project. So, but essentially, this is basic WordPress. So you have basically one text box to type and paste all of your information into. If you know how to use WP Bakery Page Builder, that's what these two buttons are for. You can toggle a front end and a back end editor. So if you want to add rows and columns, things like that, if you want to get really fancy, you're more than welcome to use that. There's a lot of good YouTube tutorials on how to use WP Bakery Page Builder. I'm not going to go through that, but because you probably won't need it. But that being said, here's what you're going to do. You're going to add a title. So it's going to be, let's give it a name. The Star Ride. Okay. And then you're going to also put your college. I'm from SCAD today. Okay. And that way we just kind of, you can give credit to, your team, your university. What I'd like you to do also is list out your team members here. And then also, I know you registered with this information, but the highest level of student uh, achievement in here. So, for example, if you have a team full of freshmen and one person is a graduate, put that it's a team of graduates. So it's the highest level, sort of like the airlines when you got to board with the highest level boarding priority. You always have to go behind. Anyway, so if you have a bunch of seniors, then put senior in there. If you have all sophomores and one senior, say that you're a senior group, because anytime you have an influence of a senior person, that's who you count. So in any case, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and type this information. I'm going to go just grab some random text from a website. We'll just do foxnews.com. Just grab some random text here, just so that you know what we're going to do here. So if I hit paste Control V, that will bring in everything, including links. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll paste it into and again, it's Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Hopefully you know that by now, but I will typically paste that into like a notepad or WordPad and then recopy and paste it again so it doesn't bring in any code, because it'll even bring in fonts for you. But just to let you know how WordPress works, this paragraph, if you highlight the text, it will stay as paragraph here. That's an important thing to leave. That's basically, it's going to be formatted to look proper for any browser as long as you leave it in paragraph mode. So don't go trying to, make it bold or italic, anything like that. Just leave it in paragraph, and that will generally take care of the sizing of your font properly. So you don't have to do any major changes. Also, this this toggle button, toolbar toggle, I can say it. This will add these little things. So you can add a text color if you want. You can add a bunch of different things. You can even add special characters, and you can add a link. So if you have a link to a website, you can highlight the text, click insert link, and then I can just go cnn.com and hit enter or apply right here. And then when we go to this link, it'll take us to cnn.com. If we want to undo that, we can just click break link. Okay. A couple other things you need to know. This is the visual editor, and then this is the text editor. The text gives you all the HTML code. So that's what it's generating underneath when you type it in here. So with that said, you also want to give it a title. So typically what you do is you highlight the text and then you change it here. Heading 1 is typically for SEO purposes, your best text. Not that we care about SEO. And then if, let's say, it's less important text, you'd put it under heading 2, and it'll get smaller but also bold. The style sheet for the website will style it. So essentially just use this as your kind of text guide. If you just keep it as paragraph, heading 2 and heading 1 for most everything, you'll probably be in good shape. So now the other thing you can do is you can add an image. If you click add media here, you've got a choice. You can either upload any image that you previously have uploaded. This little thing will spin for a minute and then it'll pull it up. And so, hey, we have a picture of the Spirit of Time podcast. So let's give Mike West a little shout out. So you click on whatever image, or you can click upload and just drag it from your computer. We'll do Mike West in this case and insert into post. Okay. It'll crunch it for a second. Now it may take a second if it's a big drawing, and the reason for that, because it's actually going to try to compress that for you. So if you put in a 6 megabyte drawing, it's going to take a minute. So give it a minute. The nice thing about this is you can drag, you can see where the cursor is. You can put this image in different places. But more importantly, when this box pops up, you can align the text. So I can actually align it so that the text will wrap left around it, or in this case, right around it, or in the center, it'll try to middle align it, which that generally doesn't work that well. But the other thing you can do is you can edit and you can change the size. So you can change it to a thumbnail size and it'll be tiny. And then, you can make it medium or full size or custom size. You can just give it a size. I want this to be 225 by 213, and you can even give it a link, but that's basically how that works. So you can basically build your project right here in this canvas. Okay. Now, one thing that you can do is you can add a video. So for example, if you have a YouTube page, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a YouTube. This is, well, I'll do one without an ad. Let's see. Okay, something from Spider-Man. Watch. Oh, yeah, of course there's an ad. Okay. But what you do is you go like this. You hit share, embed, and then you can copy this code right here. This code is the embed, and it'll embed that video. So it will play right from your browser. So if you have a project that you uploaded to YouTube, um, you can just upload it to your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, feel free to send that file over to us. We'll upload it to our YouTube channel and we'll send you that code. So that way you don't have to worry about how to do it. It's kind of, you can actually upload an actual file, but it will basically, if you tried to load it through like a non-YouTube or Vimeo type source, it would basically crash a phone when it's trying to, you'd have to download all 6 MB of file before it would play. So it's best to use YouTube and this embed feature. So in any case, you grab the code, you click embed, you click copy, you grab the code, and you go over here to the text box. You place your cursor where you want it. So in this case, I want the video to appear right there. And I'm going to hit text, and then you just hit Control V for paste. Boom. Gives you this little iframe code here that starts and ends there. And then when you go back, there it is. And it'll actually play inside your browser. Okay. So when you get done, what you're going to do is, well, there's a couple things you can do. You can hit save draft, and that's a good thing to do. Make sure you don't navigate away from the page till this circle is finished. Now, if you happen to mess up, you can actually go back in time, and there's a back button. I think I actually have to publish it before you'll see it, but you can actually go back to a previous draft. So if 20 minutes ago it's fine, now if all of a sudden everything is messed up, then you can back up in time and go to a previous revision of this. So just know that that's available in this tab here once I hit publish. So once you hit publish, it's live on the web, so just be aware of that. And here's the other important part, especially for this year. So there's a bunch of categories down here. These are the ones from last year. Don't put it in last year's, okay? There are 5 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all say 2023 showcase concept art, innovation, master planning, storytelling, and technology. Now, here's what you need to do. If you do not check one of these boxes, your work will not display in the student showcase. It will land somewhere else on the page if you, for example, clicked academia. So don't do that. With that said, by the way, if you do have an article, if you just want to publish your thoughts on themed entertainment design, feel free to publish it. That's what this platform is for. It's an open source platform. It's sort of like Facebook, but combine that with an industry magazine. So feel free to add your information and you'll give it a different category. But for the purposes of the showcase, if you are a concept artist, illustrator in computer graphics, you may want to choose this category. If you're an architect, it might be master planning and placemaking. Storytelling is really a category for those folks who want to be show writers, or typically it's for writers, but it could be anything. And then technology is intended for those people who are making, typically engineers, ride and show engineering, ride vehicle design, things like that. And then innovation is a category. If you have just a cool product or a cool invention, a cool idea that you think is going to go into a theme park and can be used, use this category. So what we're going to do is try to, just to give you a hint, match up the panelists with skill sets that will match this category. So if you think you want to be a show writer and you click this checkbox here for show writing, your work is going to go in front of guys who know how to show write, and they'll hopefully give you pretty good advice. So with that said, remember also that this is not Shark Tank and this is not American Idol. There will be nobody who criticizes your work and rips you a new one. Everything will be constructive and helpful, and we hope that you will come away a better designer than when you came into this process. So with that said, when we do the feedback sessions, bring your questions, bring personal questions. If Mike West is on your panel, say, hey, Mike, how would you have handled this situation? And use that as a networking opportunity, but also as an opportunity to get better. So So with that said, yeah, make sure you put check one and only one box here. If you check more than one, it will appear in more than one place, and we want to respect the judges or the panelists' time. You can slap me anytime I say the word judge because it's a panelist or a mentor. So check one and only one box. Don't forget to check a box here. Now, here's the other thing you want to do. You want to add a featured image. And here's why. If you don't add a featured image, then your showcase will be blank when it appears. You want to give it a, actually, let me pull this up for you and I'll show you what it looks like. If we look at last year's student showcase, it will be, yeah, right here on this link. And if we look at the actual showcase, yeah, showcase results. Well, here we go, right here. Okay. This is the 2001 student show, 2021 student showcase. Backing out. And so if you don't do a featured image, this will be blank right here when it comes to seeing your uh, your project. So you definitely want to have a featured image. If you don't, it'll look out of place. So make sure you do that. So you just pick a good representative image from there and then hit set featured image. So there are a lot of other things that you could potentially, I mean, there's a bunch of this stuff down here. You don't need to mess with it. It's not going to help you. It's not going to hurt you, but just, these sidebar positions, just leave them as they are. Pretty much the only thing you need to do to publish your project is add the title, add your content here in the middle, make sure you add the appropriate I guess that's a meta, I think it's a meta text tag, something like that. If you want to add keywords, you can. That's not going to help you or hurt you. Give it a category and give it a featured image. Then when you're done, hit publish. Okay. Now that's going to go to an approval process just because we want to make sure no one's posting pornography or something like that. But that will then go uh, basically onto the page, onto the student showcase page under concept art, and it will populate automatically. That page will be produced here in the next 24 hours. You'll start to see it go up. So that is your thing. And then you can always go view your post and see what it looks like when you're done. Okay. So this is what our thing looks like. And here's the video that we posted from Spider-Man. It plays, and then a little bit of text, and then also a little bit about you when you created your profile. So um, that's really kind of the overview of how to upload your stuff. A little strategy, by the way, for the categories. Remember that there are exactly. Oh, let me before I get into that. If you need to go back in and edit your post, you can literally just navigate to it on the page. So let's say we're here. You can just go to your link here. In this case, it's the dash star dash the ride scad. So if I hit edit post, I can just go right, it'll take me right back into that page and you can edit your page. So again, if you get stuck, let me know. And I will be more than happy to help you go fix this in any way you want. The other thing you can do is you can click this and you can change it so that it will be published on a certain date at a certain time. So if you want to hold off on it being published, feel free to do that as well. Little strategy, as I was about to say a minute ago, is that if there's 6 total awards. The goal really is not for awards. It's really to get you networked in with industry people and help give you good feedback. But if you really want an award, this is where the strategy comes in. Because if only 2 people have done concept art, then maybe you want to put your project in that category. Or if you just want to meet somebody who is a show writer, you might want to put it in the show writing category. But that being said, it's completely up to you. Do what's best for your team. Pick the best category for your team. Okay. I think that is pretty much everything we need to tell you about. Oh, one last thing. We mentioned this in the kickoff, but the deliverable here is to build something on this platform. That is one of the deliverables. What we don't do is we don't just say do something like this, where it's like link to my stuff, and then it goes to your own personal portfolio. That's not the deliverable task. make sure you don't do that. That's, I mean, everyone, Falcon's creative group could put a link to one of their old projects and they would blow everybody away, right? And everyone's got a portfolio. The task here is to build it on this platform to be able to sell the panelists on your pitch in a few minutes time, just like you would going into your career. Now, that being said, you can always put supporting documents in a different place. For example, development drawings or whatever, a making of whatever you need to do to sell your project. Feel free to add those documents to a different website, but the thrust of your pitch should be right here on this page. Okay. So I hope that is a good explanation for you. Um, with that said, I am always available, even after this showcase is over. Feel free to reach out at any time if you just need advice or just anything. I've been where you are right now, trying to get a job or about to graduate, just trying to figure out where your place is in the world. And I'm not perfect, but I can definitely give you some insight and information. So, with that said, good luck, and we will see you on the Student Showcase feedback sessions coming up sometime in early July. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.